How do you guys feel after a hard-fought point in Kansas?
Yeah, I mean, positive because we know on the night we weren't up to standards and we were a little bit off it. So to come away with a point and under the circumstances of being down to 10 men is, it felt like a win, I suppose. I mean, I think that will be a good point at the end of come the end of the season. It's a tough place to go and we come away positive with the point.
Take us through your goal, because they could have just let that one go out, and they didn't.
I know, look, thankful for me, they never. I mean, the credit's got to go to Nick, I suppose. It was a fantastic ball into the box and, thankfully it was just right on my head and I just had to get a contact on it and that's all it was. I mean, credit to Nick for the great ball in.
Feeling more comfortable at the new position?
I mean, I'm just glad to be playing. I thought, personally, I was a little bit below par on Friday night. But that happens. It wasn't through a lack of effort or anything like that. It just sometimes happens. So I know I've got to, to stay in there. I've got to improve and I've got to get better. And it's only my second game there in a long time. So just try and do as best a job for the team as I possibly can, and hopefully that's good enough. And I suppose if I get picked, it'll prove that it's good enough.
Is it hard to get up for cup games? I mean, I'm sure you've had experience in England with it. You played on the weekend, and then sometimes there's a midweek fixture.
Not at all. I love cup games. I mean, there's a prize at the end of it. So, as a kid growing up, you'd always dream of lifting a cup. Back in England, it was the FA Cup and what have you. But now that we're here, it's the Canadian Cup, and it's just as important for me as any league game because it's there's pride at stake and there's there's a lot to play for. It gets us in the Champions League, so it's a big game, no doubt about it, and one that we're really looking forward to.
How do you see Montreal this year? Because they've obviously struggled out of the gate.
I mean, yeah, it's a difficult league. I know they had a really good season last season. They've got some really good players, so there's certainly going to be no pushover. We know that. We know it's going to be a tough. There's no easy games. Certainly not with your Montreals, and I know this is a cup game, it's away from the league, but there's no easy games at all. That's what I've noticed. Every single game is competitive, and you've got to be on your mettle to win, and we know that's going to be the case tomorrow. Certainly not taking their record into account because it's a cup game, anything can happen in the cup. So yeah, we're approaching the game as well as we can.